Reflected on. For more than 20 years now, Welt der Wunder has been on television. It started back.
Well, I'm not sure where Peter is, but I think I'm supposed to start. So if you could take your seats, we're going to get to this last session. And hopefully Peter will show up. Yeah? Okay, great. All right. Now, this is the one you've all been waiting for. Actually, it's the one
That's why everybody left.
That's why everybody left, yeah, right. No, there's still people here. They're just back in the comfy seats at the back there. The executive production seats, they call them, yes. Okay, so this is the last session of the day, and can I just say, I appreciate all of you who've been here throughout the day. That's great. I'm very excited about this session because we're talking about something that's really in the news, in the zeitgeist. It certainly is something that I think has the potential to revolutionize the business. Now, that said, I think it's not a straight shot. I mean, I think that this is not going to be an easy journey, and we'll talk a little bit about this, I think. But I think that the kind of technology that we're talking about here and what Hendrik has really put a lot of effort and time in understanding and developing really could be very revolutionary. So the session is From Science Docs to Cryptocurrency, which I think is a great title, from Welt der Wunder to blockchain. And my guest is Hendrik Heij. And Hendrik Heij is the creator and CEO of World of Wonder. I'm going to say the English.
Yeah.
And the way we're doing this is really as a fireside chat, and then we will bring in your questions. So, Hendrik, I mean, you've been here all day, and we're going to talk a little bit maybe about some things that you can bring in or that you heard. But just to get us started, why don't we start with your journey? I think getting to blockchain and what you're going to talk about with this really revolutionary technology, it's important to understand where you started. I think it helps to get a view of where you started. So when we talked before, you started as a journalist, right, and a producer. And then I think it was in March of 1996, you developed and launched and presented the science documentary series Welt der Wunder on ProSieben. So tell us about the journey from that to becoming a network to then moving to blockchain. Tell us about that.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. We started with Welt der Wunder in 1996, and it was meant to be a popular science show. The idea was actually to translate complicated science to a large audience, to keep everybody involved. And it happened that it just became a success. It was really successful. So we were able to sell it into many, many countries, like 33 countries. Good. And Welt der Wunder by that time was a production company, so we used to work with other networks like Discovery and NetGeo and so on and so on and so on. It was the more recognizable program here was Welt der Wunder in Germany. My idea from the beginning on was to transform the brand Welt der Wunder into my own network. I did the first try in early 2000, but I failed. Nobody gave me the money for that. And I did it the next time in October 2013. Again, nobody gave me the money for that, but I did it.
You did it anyway.
Yeah.
Well done.
I went to a satellite company and I asked whether they can give me the satellite transmission for free. I was standing on my knees and asking them, just give it me for free. It's going to be a great network. And they gave it for free to me. Then I went to cable. So it's now a nationwide, independent, factual entertainment network. And we opened up our next one in Switzerland 1 year later in 2014. Still small. It's not quite nationwide, and we might open up our next one in next year in Austria. And then the idea is to slowly leave the German-speaking territories into Eastern Europe, Scandinavia, and so on and so on. But parallel to that, 4 years ago, I said we have to think about something else, because by that time I was a broadcaster, so I know the problems of broadcasters quite a lot.
Because that's what's cool. It's like you've come from production to making a show to then a broadcast network. You know the business. Yeah. And you can see the problem. So what is the problem with the current licensing and distribution business that you saw that you thought,
Right. The problem is, as a producer or broadcaster, is to find each other. You have to go to exhibitions like the MIP. Many people, lots of programs. It's really hard to really find the right partners for your special purpose. And if you're a German producer, you do not know what a Brazilian network really needs, and so on and so on. And I said, actually, it has been like that the last 100 years. And but there are opportunities the technology provides us with in order to make that more simple. That was the time after I had developed the idea when I met my colleagues from Swiss Text. They're here as well, which is actually the technical branch of the Swiss public television. And a friend of mine, who's a really cool guy and very innovative guy, moved over to that company and said, you got to see those guys. They're working on something which really could fit to your concept. And that was the case.
And this was called the Media Hub, right?
This is Media Hub. This is basically a piece of broadcast technology.
Okay.
Yeah. To say it's simple, it's very fancy. It's a Ferrari. It's a really cool piece of.
I think at one point you said it was called the Netflix for professionals.
Right. Yeah. This is basically the concept we have, because I said, okay, now I have the platform which can easily transmit videos from A to B, more and more sophisticated than standard streaming platform, because you have to provide the industry with a lot of metadata, sound files, whatever. So it's really a professional marketplace. And actually, it's that advanced that my two networks are running over the platform already since more than a year. So that thing really went under a stress test. It's really cool.
So that's a distribution network, essentially.
Right. And then you said, okay, now let's make that become a marketplace. where actually any producer, it's really open source for any professional producer. You have to be somewhat part of the industry, can promote this program, and any broadcaster or buyer, VOD publisher can buy the program.
Okay.
And so it's a virtual trade fair.
Virtual trade fair.
Right. This is the technology part.
Now, is this the right moment to run the clip, or do you want to talk a little bit more about?
Now let's see the clip then, because maybe I just
set up the clip.
Right.
No, wait.
It's okay. It's okay.
Okay. Sorry. Set up the clip.
The thing was,
I'm in control. Yeah.
A little later,
I think
we thought about blockchain technology.
Yeah.
I was very used to the technology, but I didn't really know what to do with that. You know? When I went deeper into that, I said, okay, this technology could really solve some other problems, which means legal issues, chain of rights issues, and so on and so on. This is actually what that technology was made for. Okay. So we were integrating that
into the media hub.
Now we can see the clip.
Okay, got it. So this is kind of the culmination of that journey. All right, now you can play the clip. Thank you very much.
For more than 20 years now, Welt der Wunder has been on television. It started back in 1996. We wanted to win over our audience with sophisticated content and high-quality visuals and prove that these two things aren't mutually exclusive when it comes to achieving success. Our audience thought so too. So Welt der Wunder became one of the leading brands in German television. It even became a trendsetter. Before we entered the market, the topic of knowledge was widely neglected on all channels. Welt der Wunder grew far beyond the borders of Germany and was sold to more than 30 countries. We became known as quality producers around the world and fully aware of the needs of most TV stations and content buyers. Therefore, we also know the difficulties that many producers have bringing their products to market. Since 2013, Welt der Wunder has also been a TV network in Germany and Switzerland, so we know the needs of content buyers as well. Because as a broadcaster, we also rely on good content from others. This experience, combined with our own networks, now form the basis to make quality content more easily available worldwide and to develop an innovative marketplace for developing high-quality productions. The demand for high-quality content is growing throughout the world. Countless TV stations and expanding VOD platforms have an insatiable need for good content. Online newspapers and magazines also need to position themselves in the World Wide Web and are in urgent need of videos. On all online publishing platforms, quality videos have established themselves as marketing drivers. Whoever can't provide them will fall behind and lose users. So the demand appears to be there. But how will content buyers know where to find appropriate content? Our ICO project will provide the answer. A virtual marketplace full of solid professional content will bring leading quality producers closer to an international market. We want buyers and sellers to be able to meet one another, just like at a TV market trade fair, but on the internet. So far, so good. But there are problems that have to be solved. International license contracts without standards and norms make life difficult for producers and broadcasters. So, what would it be like if they could overcome this situation in the future? But not only contracts cost money, distribution and sales departments often intercede between buyers and sellers and increase prices. The solution to the problem lies in innovative blockchain technology. When used correctly, this innovation has managed to control more and more segments of the global economy and leads to simplification and reorganization of business. Smart contracts in particular, virtual agreements that are filed in the blockchain, are excellent tools to completely reorganize certain parts of the world. In our project, smart contracts will map the most relevant international contract norms and manage them in a way that is legally watertight. A content seller matches his content with the appropriate smart contract that describes, for example, for which uses and license periods he provides his content to a contract partner. The buyer only has to confirm the contract to finalize the deal. Payment will be managed securely via blockchain as well. So, to sum up, a content marketplace for professional video and TV licenses combined with innovative blockchain technology. Standardized smart contracts provide legal security and simplify sales and billing. At the center of the future trading is our own cryptocurrency, Milk, the micro-licensing coin. The name describes exactly what the Milk was designed for. Our vision is that the Milk evolves into an important currency within the global media industry. A disruptive business model? Possibly. But it's a business model that can certainly change a lot.
Okay, so what was interesting about that for me was I get the smart contracts. I get all the the different legal. Oh my goodness, I get the sort of distribution issue. How do you match buyers and sellers in a more transparent, right, and easier and efficient way? You mentioned the ICO, and right at the end you talked about Milk, which is the micro licensing coin, and an ICO is an initial coin offering.
Right.
So just talk a little bit about that, because I think that's when a lot of people, their eyes glaze over and they think, oh my God, I have to get into cryptocurrency to do this? That's scary.
Okay, let's start with the cryptocurrency first. Everybody knows or has heard about the Bitcoin. Actually, that was the first cryptocurrency. It was meant as an alternative model against standard money, fiat money, so-called dollar, euro, whatever.
Right.
But this is what it's all about. The meaning behind cryptocurrencies or token can be described as a more intelligent money. So just take a dollar and put a panel onto that and tell him exactly what he has to do at a certain time.
Yeah.
You know? So it's
different kind of money. Yeah.
Right.
The
It's
money with
kind
values
of
or rules. Yeah.
Yeah. It has a value and it can be exchanged into real money at a certain point. But to make the system work, it speeds up the processes because you don't have to transfer money. From Germany to India takes 5 days. Yeah?
Yeah.
So it doesn't take 5 days, it takes 5 seconds or a millisecond. Yeah? So this is actually another innovation which belongs to the blockchain technology. Cryptocurrency and blockchains are somehow connected to each other. So what happens right now, people think of cryptocurrencies as money, but this is not the meaning of those currencies. In order to make a system work, like in that particular case, you have to have those cryptocurrency in order to make it become an overall possible standard.
Right.
Yeah. For example, the token has a use. For example, I went to Iran recently, and I was in Tehran, and I had the chance to meet the private media industry over there. Actually, pretty amazing. They have Instagram, they have YouTube, kind of things. So I didn't know that. So
local versions.
Yeah, in local versions. Yeah. Cool agencies, cool producers. I've seen unbelievably good documentaries over there. But anyway, I was sitting together with more or less the whole media industry, and they have the problem that they're now under sanction. Yeah, we all know about that. So when I would love to, an Iranian producer would love to sell me something, he has no currency.
Right.
I can accept the rial.
But you could take a
otherwise
token.
I get arrested in the US.
That's right, exactly.
Right. So, and it has no value.
Yeah.
Venezuela is the same thing. Yeah? But there is an existing media market, and they're desperately looking for content. Yeah? So I told them about the token system, the tokenization, which is actually the overall thing. Right. And they really freaked out because it's a bypass.
It's a bypass, exactly.
And but unfortunately, it's forbidden to invest in token in Iran right now. They change. Actually, but by that time they were not able to use that bypass, but they saw that as a solution to be in the business, and media is not under sanction, but they are sanctioned as well, so, and that is one function of those tokens. There are many more.
So it sort of, let me ask you another question. Do you need to have this become an industry standard? And when I say this, I mean the Milk, which is your micro-licensing coin, which is what you've developed. Does that need to be an industry standard for this to work? Or can you start doing business today, tomorrow, without it being an industry standard?
Yeah, absolutely. It could evolve into something, and it's more or less, we have the ambition to make that token important.
Okay. Yeah.
But it doesn't have to. In that platform, it has a functionality, and but you can use dollar, euro as well, or Bitcoin, Ether, whatever. Yeah? But we provide a certain functionality with our token, and if it works for you, you can use that. Yeah? And then you have the thing of which is called ICO, initial coin offering, and this is a funding instrument, like an IPO.
Yep.
Going
And
onto
you've
the
done
stock
one of
market.
those or not?
I'm actually closing it next week.
You're closing next week. And how much are you going to raise in
actually, what you
tokens
do, the system means we have a certain amount of token, a limited amount of token, like the Bitcoin. It's limited, so it's a deflation system.
Okay.
And the next innovation which comes into that is that there are investors worldwide who believes in the value, in the speculative value of those tokens, because of the concept which is behind that.
Okay, and so they invest.
Yeah, right.
Or buy.
And you, as a company, you have the opportunity to go into that cryptocurrency market with your project. And if you're lucky and the people like your project, they finance you. But it could be $1 from a guy from Jakarta, or 100 million from a sheikh from Dubai. I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
The cool thing is you don't have to, it's not that cost incentive as an IPO. You don't have to work with EY and Boston Consulting, and these big five.
Goldman Sachs.
Right. You have to watch the regulations. So it's very important to inform yourself about that. But then you can sit wherever you are. You don't have to go to Silicon Valley in order to receive VC money. You stay where you are and just communicate. And then, if you're lucky, the people are buying that token. This is your offer. Buy one of those tokens. You have that token, and hopefully it receives a value. How does it get the value? As soon as it goes to an exchange, people start speculating with that token in the same way like they do it with the Bitcoin.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how confident are you that you're going to raise money, or people are going to want to invest in your tokens? I mean, do you get a feeling from the market, or do you know? Or?
Of course.
Yep.
We have two groups actually. On the one side are those cryptocurrency community, those early adapters.
Yep.
Really cool people. I love those mentality actually a lot. And we're communicating a lot. They have a completely different mindset. And could be a guy who works in night shift in Boston, or a housewife working in Wuppertal, I don't know. Yeah. So, but they're combining under that blockchain vision. Blockchain is a vision, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. And they're investing. Yeah. Really small money.
Okay.
Yeah, what they have. So we have something like 1,500 investors from that side.
Okay.
Yeah. They have really spent some money because they believe in the project, and they want to be part of the media system, and they never had the chance to become part of the media system.
Okay.
Yeah? And the other group is more those strategic investors. They are out of the industry. They believe in the project itself. They see the potential, and they see that's a technological innovation, and that it's the first of its kind right now. And so they give you more money, but more out of a strategic perspective. And
so let me ask another question. Are any of those strategic investors, companies from the industry? I don't know, I'm making this up now, Fremantle, which is a distribution producer company, or a broadcaster, or are they all sort of staying away? And this is mostly venture capital, angel.
No, most of the time, those are investors who are close to the industry, but not really the industry.
Okay.
The problem with our industry is that the industry is really slow. Yeah? They haven't heard about what blockchain technology really means. They do not know how to transform. So it's out of my perspective, and it's the opinion of many investors as well. It's an aged industry, and it desperately needs innovation.
Okay.
Yeah? And there's a small group. I'm not the only one. There are others developing cool things which are going to bring more innovation into the system and makes it better for everyone, actually.
Okay, so we've talked about the money. We've talked a little bit about the mechanic, how it sort of works. Essentially, what I see is blockchain basically disintermediates the lawyers. It disintermediates the traditional distribution companies.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what you're banking on. You're kind of saying, if we do this, we will save costs, we will be more efficient,
Right.
Right? We will be able to find the content or find the buyers or whatever it is.
Right.
Fast.
So there are actually three issues. First of all, I'm a producer as well, and I know the problems coming out of the producing side.
Yep.
But those are the creatives. They have the idea. You know? A network is only a platform.
Yeah.
You know? I can say that because I'm a platform right now. Not that much creative anymore. But those producers actually, especially when they're small producers, they are limited to their market most of the time. If you want to sell something as a German producer, you have to talk to 3 networks. Yeah? They're dictating the price. Yeah? So there is no competition. That's why if you use that marketplace, you might find 10 smaller networks. Together, they give you a better price. Yeah?
Okay.
So then you go back to those 3 networks here and say, well, I've sold it to someone else. Actually, I guess they might go up a little.
They might come in, yeah.
Right. So what does it mean? Any producer is interested in quality. He wants to invest. He wants to invest in his movie. Give me 1 shooting day more, or 2, and I will spend it. Yeah? The system, the way it works right now, especially in Germany, I guess it's everywhere the same. It's cost reductive. Less budgets. Do it for half price. I commission whatever you do, but for the half price. And as an audience, you see what comes out. Only shit. I don't like television anymore. I don't see it. But I would love to watch television, but I really expect the networks to invest in content and quality. They don't, because they have actually the control about the local producer community.
Right. Okay. So this is a way to kind of bring more competition.
Right.
More
competition.
More competition.
The other thing
right?
is for
more
the
money.
producers, it means more visibility. It doesn't matter whether you're a small producer or a big one, whether you're a big library owner or you're just pitching a new project. It doesn't matter whether you're coming out of the documentary field or a movie or sport or entertainment. It just doesn't matter. So this is one issue. The other issue is, even as a broadcaster, I have to say that I don't like to invest in distributors. Distribution fees could be 30 up to 50%.
Right, unless you own it, because some broadcasters own distributors.
For the producer, it means you have to put that into your budget. Right. So the price goes up.
All right.
So basically, I don't like that as a producer. I have to make my program more expensive, and I don't like it as a network as well, because I want to invest in the program. The platform we develop takes a commission fee as well, distribution fee as well, but it's only 10%. And the more volume we get on the platform, the less it will be. So it's decreasing. That means basically, if a network pays something for a program, already 90% of the money goes into the hand of the producer, and it will be more. And the other way around, if he knows that he don't have to invest in lawyers, in distribution, in whatever, he can put the money into the quality.
The quality of the program.
But when I talk about distributors, I only mean those distributors I don't like. Those distributors who take all the program and they shop it around with no, for example, guarantee fee. There are other professional distributors. They become co-producers. They invest. They are highly welcome, because it could be an advantage for a producer to have someone who has really access to a certain market. But at least they should share the risk.
Well, and you know that, because that's sort of the way the distribution businesses started to develop. They're starting to take more risk because they realize they need to get in on the ground floor to, sooner time to get these programs off the ground, so they're not snatched out of their hands by the Netflixes or the Amazons or whatever. So you're right, there's different kinds of distributors. So the kinds of distributors who are willing to take the risk, are willing to put some money in, you'd welcome them onto this platform.
Absolutely.
What kind of companies, if you can name any of them, have joined the platform already? I mean, do you have a group of companies that have joined that are...
Yeah, actually we're talking to really a lot of networks. I can't really...
You can't name them?
Okay.
But
that
are they broadcasters?
Yeah, broadcasters, but big publishing companies as well. So recently, I can say that because we did it already, we signed a deal with a local publisher here. It's a Boda Group, actually a big one. And we're now in discussion with Axel Springer from the publishing side. We're talking to Microsoft International. there was a mail coming from the BBC in recently, so they're all interested. And for me, it's good to see that we have something developed that was done from professionals for professionals, and they adopt the idea because it's not disrupting, it's just optimizing and offer a more optimized way.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and you don't have to use that marketplace exclusively. Any network has several marketplaces, but you can.
Yeah, see, it's a very interesting idea. Let me, is now the right time to do the second clip, which talks about how you get involved with this, or not?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Maybe one short introduction.
Yes.
We have a short clip where you can see what the guys from SwissTex did. It's their development, how it works, and right now we are putting on that platform our content. I have our own big library, and this is the part where it means some handwork. You have to put it on, and we're in that stage. The back end is ready. What we have to develop is the front end, basically the website, the shop, that kind of Netflix for professionals.
Right.
This is supposed to be ready by the end of the year.
End of the year.
So this is status right now.
Okay, so roll the second clip, please.
Yes, it's just there. This is status right now. And in a few weeks or maybe 2 months, you will see the official shop. And there we have to think about more usability, and it should be easy, a little bit like a Netflix service or an Amazon Prime service. Should be easy for a buyer to find program, to buy program, or for a producer to put it on. So we are developing a couple of templates, where to put your marketing text in, how to provide the system with the right technical data, and so on and so on. So it's still some work.
And then obviously behind that will be how you actually pay for product, which is where you get into the coin or the tokens, I should say, the tokens.
Right. The token is an offer. This is what we call the tokenization process. This is going to take a while.
Okay, so first you're really paying with real money at the moment.
Absolutely. We don't, if you want to buy or sell in dollar or euro, you're free to do that.
Fine.
But we promote the tokenization as it has some advantages. And the cool thing is, I'm not right through with that. If one offer, for example, if you use the token, we don't charge a commission fee at all.
Ooh.
It's going to be for free because there are other ways for us.
So you don't even pay the 10%?
No.
Oh, that's good.
No, this is kind of an offer because we want to push the token idea really a lot, because I strongly believe in that, not only for the media industry, for any industry. It's really, really amazing thing. If you get into the idea, it's, out of my perspective, one of those big economy revolution.
Yeah, like a game changer.
Right. And it has the advantage to liberalize things. And as I always said, it's more or less the economy advantage of Marxism. And it's like let anyone participate somehow, and not only a few. everybody's doing his work and so on and so on. There should be an opportunity to participate, especially when we're talking about the pitch place. There's a pitch place on that market as well.
Because you actually pitch a project.
Absolutely. And we protect you with another blockchain, which is the chain of right, intellectual property blockchain. Very transparent, so you're free to pitch. You have a lot of witnesses.
So no one can steal your idea. I love that. How many NDAs have I signed that, it's just ridiculous. Anyway, good.
But then if it then comes to production, for example, if you are making a movie and you are the wardrobe girl or the set runner, you don't have any chance to participate on what you're working on. But those guys are actually the first who know whether it's a good movie or not. So, and with that system, they have an opportunity to invest in the product they're working on.
It's a little bit like crowdfunding, but on a much more professional
level. Like that.
Okay. So now I know that you have something else to announce that you've announced, I think, today. You've recently been to Dubai, and you talked to a company called Elysium. Yes. Talk to me about what you're thinking about with them. What is the plan? And why they're an investment bank, yes?
Right.
Explain that whole. What's that related?
So actually, you need to have strong, powerful partners, and the Milk project is supposed to be an international project. It doesn't happen very often that something like that comes out of Germany. So you need to have some backing partners around you.
And this is beyond the ICO that you're.
Absolutely.
Okay, so this is a separate partner.
And, and it happened that I met a company called the Global Investment Bank in Dubai, and they are awarded as one of the best investment banks in that region. And they are specialized on blockbuster Hollywood movie financing. This is where they're coming from, beside a lot of other things they're doing. So they have they're quite experienced in dealing with that. And at a certain point, they had the idea to go into the blockchain direction as well. And their idea is actually, and this is the Elysium token. It should come out next year. This is actually a project token to finance movies.
I get it. So Elysium was the project token that they were setting up.
Right.
Got it.
Behind that is
to finance film projects, high-level, high-value film projects. All right.
And the nice thing is, it's not only for financing. That CEO from the Global Investment Bank, who's a cool guy, had the idea that if we go into the blockchain direction, it's going to be cost reductive. We save money or increase profit. But we don't have to take all the profits. So he has a vehicle in his idea, and he's definitely going to do that he takes 25% out of his profits and invests it directly into social impact projects. So that means if you go into theater, could mean that, by the way, by you watching a film, you're building a school in Africa. And this is again the philosophy of blockchain. Everyone tries to change things and make it somehow more fair. And I never met a bank before who was thinking like that, and it's part of their government. So it's not only an idea. I had to agree onto that. Of course, I did. So they want to take away that greediness, which is in Hollywood. Nobody gives something that he once has in his pocket. So, and then, but they did their homework as well. They talked to a lot of studios over there, to a lot of famous people.
These are Hollywood studios,
Absolutely, and they all want to join.
They want to join the project.
Absolutely, they're not against that. They're with that because it helps them as well.
So the partnership, it's a partnership.
Right, and then at that point they realized, we want to do that, but there's the Milk project. It has already a lot of stuff they want. So the partnership is actually, they are the investment part and we are the distribution part. It's a distribution platform and they're investing. But to combine that means actually that it's kind of a first virtual blockchain fintech studio in the world. It provides everything: financing, distribution, whatever. Marketplace,
buying and selling, tokenization.
And they are much more powerful in terms of their financial resources than we. They have enough of that. We are more specialized on the technology side or on the.
So that partnership was announced today, yes?
That partnership was announced today, and the Milk platform comes first, and they come a little later, maybe in 3-4 months. They want to do their own announcement. They have a couple of cool projects in their pipeline.
Oh, actual projects, actual films.
Right, really amazing.
Wow.
I'm not allowed to
come
talk
on,
about
tell
that.
us.
No,
You're not allowed to tell us.
I can't.
How about stars? Talent? No, you can't tell.
No.
That's a shame.
But
they're recognizable, though.
I was sitting there like a child, like, I want to meet those people once in my life.
That's good. It's interesting how that you've sort of come into this, and again with your experience coming from broadcast and distribution and producing, you understand what's happening, and you've come together and put this together, and now you've gotten this big financial backer. So, I mean, when is this actually up and running? Up and running. It's up and running now, sort of in.
Yeah, it's already operative in the background. As I said, the official shop hopefully starts by the beginning of the year. So it's a couple of weeks. Everybody's working on that already. Yeah. And then it's a little bit like when iTunes came first onto the market. First they had a couple of thousand songs, then a couple of 10,000, so on and so on. Yeah. So the thing is, producers who are interested in that on that marketplace, they have to spend some time and work.
And they have to load their
so content. Over the time, hopefully, the overall library on that marketplace will grow.
Yeah. Well, that makes it more of a marketplace, right? Because the more stuff you have on there, the better marketplace.
Absolutely. So it's going to take some time. That's why we start. But if you want to buy Wette Wunder content, it's already on there.
Okay.
Yeah,
so does anyone have any questions for Hendrik? Yes. Okay. We have one here, and then I've got a hand there. So let's. Where's the mic? Yes, it's coming. Peter is coming.
Here.
Here, right here.
Eerste rij.
Put your hand up again. Yep. There you go. And then we're going to go to this man over here next.
Yeah. All right. Yep. First of all, my inner child is still grateful that I could stay up every Thursday late to watch Wette Wunder. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
My inner child, yay.
I'm totally with you that private TV is, after Wette Wunder it was off, TV got pretty much nuts. And I mean, I'm not out of the industry, media industry. I'm from healthcare. So just to make this clear, I think that you're giving underdogs the opportunity to create great content, and also like those theaters that are not that commercial theaters, give them the opportunity to show totally different content, and also give the consumer, and if I understand it right, the opportunity to choose or to invest in what they want to see.
Right.
Am I right?
Right. Yeah. So basically, it's not a B2C platform from the beginning on. Yeah. It's a B2B marketplace. There will be a B2C level at a certain point, but that comes a little later. Yeah. Right. So first of all, it's like people out of the industry. Doesn't matter whether you're a big producer or a small one. You have the opportunity to talk to the world of buyers, and if somebody likes your program, they buy it. And the token actually gives someone who's not coming from the industry the opportunity to participate by investing in things.
A project, and they would find the project by going onto the platform.
And actually, my community already, they're not media people, but they have the token, right? And they started asking, can I invest in a movie? Can I invest in a documentary?
Yeah. And like, yes, let me load one up yet. I don't have one yet.
Right. And the cool thing is those crypto investors are risk investors. Yeah? They really like the risk. That's why investing in ICOs is completely risky. You can lose everything you have. Yeah? But they do that anyway. And investing in media projects could be risky as well. Yeah? But they have the right mentality. And I have formulated in Germany a so-called Milk Producer Club. German producers meet cryptocurrency maniacs, and they start talking to each other. Yeah? We have announced an investment in an independent movie here, only with token.
Really? Oh, you have already?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
right.
And,
what was this movie?
What the movie is about?
Yeah. Well, what's it called, or what's it? Or we don't know yet.
Still a secret because
it's a secret. Right.
Yeah.
A lot of secrets in this.
Right. Only the creative team knows what the movie is about. But the thing was, I gave 500,000 euros in token. Actually, the token doesn't have a value right now, but it will have. And the challenge was to a creative team, is there somebody out there who takes that as a budget?
Yeah.
And then there was some quietness, like, what do you mean with budget? What is that all about? And then the creative team, pretty cool team, said, we take it. So they have that as a budget, and as we all know, a movie starts with a writer and a producer, and maybe a director, only a small team. Till they have finished that, the token is on an exchange and it has a value, and then it can be exchanged. But as said, the whole movie, we're going to increase the budget. We went over to 1 million, and maybe we can go up to 10 million. It doesn't matter.
Depending on what happens with people getting interested.
But I said, the whole system, anyone in that movie is going to be paid in that token. The speculative part will be balanced. So if you got 3,000 as someone for your work, you will receive on that day 3,000 in token. And you have the choice to exchange it right away in order to pay your rent or whatever, or to keep some of them. And be part of maybe the success journey of that thing.
Interesting.
And just guess that movie is going to be successful and earns a lot of money. Maybe your token has more value and you didn't receive 3,000. Maybe you received 9,000, or you lost them.
Or you lost them, right? Okay. So. Let's. Where's the mic? Yeah, you can go to this man here. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm a producer, and my question is, where do you distribute to? Because at the moment you said you're building, you have a German place, Switzerland, Austria, and then the second part is referring to the investments, because you said they are focusing on American content mainly. Are they going to be interested in US content when they're investing on your platform, or also German-speaking content maybe?
Yeah, they're specialized on those kind of things. So they have a great experience in entering into these $100, $150 adventures.
150 million.
Million,
yeah.
Sorry, yeah. And you have to have an expertise doing that, because you can lose it quite fast. And they did really well. So they have a lot of investors who believing that they have the expertise. But they really saw that the television system, for example, is actually, it has less budgets, but actually percentage-wise more revenues. And it's not that risky. So already we're in discussion about prestige television projects. We are a little bit more specialized on these kind of things, so we're providing them with the expertise in doing those kind of things.
And would it be non-fiction as well as fiction, or
it's
mostly
non-fiction?
Fiction?
It could be fiction. So I'm coming more out of the documentary space. But you can generate formats like Dogbusters is completely possible. I saw the panel before that, and of course you can reach with documentaries millions of people. I did that already a couple of times.
Right,
so it's possible, depends on what you're doing for them. So, and I guess once in a while those productions, they need money as well. Remember something like Walking with Dinosaurs, that was a Dogbuster. But it took something like, I don't know, 15, 20 million to do that. So they're interested in that as well. Basically, they're coming from there, but I
love that term, by the way, Docbuster. In other words, goes beyond documentary. It becomes a really big hit.
Absolutely. But now I understand, so when I've heard that concept, especially with the social impact component, I right away saw those movies. Just remember something like The Day After Tomorrow. It was kind of a fictionalized apocalypse climate thing, but there is a real story behind that. Actually, the science is not that US gets frozen, we get frozen here, because it's our heating system.
That's right.
But anyway, just guess if part of the money goes into projects that tries to protect us from that scenario, or if you add a piece of a documentary behind the movie. Suddenly the whole thing became more real. Or I remember the movie Blood Diamonds. It's a real story.
That's right.
just add 5 minutes, 10 minutes of a documentary and make the people sit for a little longer. Yeah, make them get out of the movie with a completely different mindset.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there's a lot of potential to combine those events with each other.
I like that because I mean, with the SVOD panel, that's exactly one of the things we were talking about. You know, how do you break out of these sort of typical traditional legacy thinking?
Yeah.
And that's one of the ways you actually extend the narrative to maybe a different kind of narrative. You do a fictionalized version, then maybe some nonfiction.
Yeah.
It's a good idea.
Yeah. And communication. If you have the chance as an audience to, first of all, you will be part of a development of movies from a very early stage.
Right.
Yeah. As you're part of the crypto community, you are an investor. Right. You have the right to be informed of what is happening. Yeah. Right. So you will get to know the movie long before it's going to be produced. Yeah. And they and we have kind of these voting elements in it. So we ask the communities, you can do anything better than asking your audience what they actually want to see in advance. Yeah?
Okay.
So this is possible. And then after the thing is out, there will be a communication going on, and maybe you leave a group of new friends behind, which are doing something with that. Yeah.
When you is there another question? Okay, let's go to this question here, and then there, Peter's coming.
Hi.
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 What are the safeguards to prevent money laundering?
Actually, those things are always regulated. Yeah? So we received the permission to do that from the German regulator and from the Swiss regulator, and we are now start to talk to the American regulator, the SEC. Yeah? And you have to follow some rules and standards. For example, we have to commit to a self-regulated organization, and they come to your company and they prove once a year. Yeah? Actually, money laundering in the media business is really stupid, because you better open up a Chinese restaurant. Don't invest in a movie. Yeah? But anyway,
Chinese. Good, sorry.
But in order to just be transparent on that part, we open the books, and you see those are professional companies. They're doing something together. That's the way it goes. And the regulators ask for that.
Okay. Anything else? Yes, here's one.
Hi, will you be aggregating any of the content that will come on your Netflix or your Milk?
Say it again.
So in other words, will you aggregate the content that you fund, create, whatever, on a platform that consumers can get?
The platform that you are creating for people to buy.
Yeah, it's a professional platform at the moment.
Exactly.
It's a professional, but so basically Netflix is a client, or Amazon. It's just a client, like a broadcaster, like a publisher. So actually, this is the place where Netflix can shop.
Yeah, no, I know, but I mean, will you select the content? Will you first, because otherwise,
whether we make a decision, this is good content or bad content? No. Yeah.
It's a marketplace, so it's like when you go to MIP or MIPCOM, program marketplace. There's booths. And there's some stuff you wouldn't go into the booth.
Yeah.
No, right? But those booths.
But it's all there.
Already selected because the sales agents already select.
No.
Yes.
The thing is, you have to.
Create groups of titles.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's possible, right? You could create categories and groups.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, to get access to the platform, you have to identify yourself as a professional. Yeah. So we cannot allow user-generated content flooding that platform. So if you're a company, but it doesn't matter whether you're a big or a small company. We don't judge if you're specialized on flower documentaries. Go ahead. If somebody buys it, it's up to you. Yeah. But there is a certain barrier in order to keep the content professional. Yeah. What was the second?
And then the other, did you want to talk about a B2C proposition, or was that it?
That was it.
That was it, okay.
All right.
But now that I have the microphone,
I'm sorry. AC, please, go ahead. AC.
No, on this one, what you were saying, Sumia, just saying, like, you could have a system where there are like some playlists of professionals like Spotify.
Yeah, that was yeah.
So it's not even going beyond the category, but adding the voices of some actors.
Right.
And that,
to make it more compelling.
So what we're working on right now.
Come at the end, and I will send you my invoice.
Yeah. Thank you. Work for the platform. I hire you. No, the one thing we have started 2 weeks ago our own artificial intelligence system based on IBM Watson. It's learning right now, and we have to get used to that as well. But the idea is actually to combine that with the SwissText platform to generate a better experience. For example, if you are a TV executive, you're not interested in sport. Yeah, so the system needs to learn who you are and what you're looking for. Or if you are entering the platform on the Monday, you might have a problem on the Sunday. Have had a problem. Yeah, so I need to know what is the program structure on the Sunday and what have been the ratings and where was the weak point. So the platform should suggest things that could fit into that slot. Yeah, so it's another service we add on. You can do that or you can't, whatever you want, but just to make sure that the search experience becomes better and better and better. Because this is what my problem is. When I'm looking for program, it's like I'm sitting on Spotify looking for playlists. Once in a while I'm lucky and I have 10 songs. Once in a while I'm spending hours and finding nothing because I do not know what I'm looking for.
Right.
Yeah? And this is where the platform really choose and say, that producer has something that might fit, and so on and so on.
And so you could actually, it would maybe know who you are, or maybe you could even program it and say, I've got a problem.
Yeah.
I'm making this up. My problem is Sunday night, 8 to 9 o'clock. Right. I'm a broadcaster. I can't.
I want to only have documentaries. This is my price range, my network. I have a network, but it's a small one. I cannot compete with the big prices. I have to look for cheap content, but I want to have quality as well. Yeah, so I cannot spend more than that. Don't offer me stuff I cannot afford anyway.
This is really interesting.
Yeah, thank you.
So, just to end, what do you think? What are you most worried about this? I mean, is it about making the technology work? Is it about making people, allowing people to come in? Is it about attracting the right content? Is it about making sure the tokens work? I mean, when you think about, there's obviously lots of problems, but what's worrying you? Are there other competitors coming in who will compete with you doing this similar kind of thing?
So actually, I'm not worried about those things. It can work, it will work, and if it doesn't work for the whole industry, I have a platform for my own content. Okay, it's fair enough. I want to still sell my content. Yep. So I'm a client with my network on that platform. Okay. But it's kind of strange. We receive a lot of reaction internationally from India, from the US, from wherever. The only country where we actually have hardly any reaction is Germany.
Really?
No.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Again, they're sitting there sleeping. It's like, what is it?
But they know you.
They know me, but they just they can't believe. They just say it's not possible. You can't do that out of Germany.
Goes back to the fellow up there that was talking a little bit. Yes.
So
all right.
It happens that they might not be part of that game from the beginning on.
And it's
but
even be a big
Switzerland,
game.
for example, all the local TV stations, I'm going to meet them by the end of the month. Yeah. These regional tiny TV stations, they're highly interested because they're looking for content.
Yeah, and in a way for them, it's a great thing because it would cut their costs drastically. Yeah. It would give them access to something that's much bigger than what they can. Yeah. Yes,
and they might have to deliver something to the system as well.
Okay, sorry. Can you hand the mic? And do you have one too? Yeah. Okay.
I want to ask about the language issues. So presumably you're accepting content in a number of different languages? Is that
absolutely. So actually, if you're getting onto the market, you should provide at least an English text or whatever. Yeah? Except when you only want to sell to the German territories, then you can leave it in German. But there's a cool feature the guys from SwissText have developed. It's actually, I really like that. It's that we put in the Spanish documentary and it comes out with an English subtitle. automatically.
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 Well, I was going to ask you, if you think you'll start to develop more and more kind of versioning services as part of the platform. It's a logical extension of...
Yeah, sure. As soon as that works. It's not that easy. So first of all, I do expect those guys to give me a translation from Mandarin or for Kiswahili, I don't know. So that actually I can understand what a producer from Dubai has to tell. Otherwise, I see images and I don't understand the word. And this is all I need as a network, for example. I have to do my own editing, my own texting anyway at a certain point. But I need to get the idea. So this is a cool service. I like that a lot. But if you're smart as a producer, you provide the world market with as much language versions you have.
Another question back here, Peter?
Hiya. I have a sort of a quality question, really. How are you going to police the platform for quality and safety and all those other, special things that we need to do with content? But then also, would you be looking at giving single filmmakers, YouTubers, for example, a platform to trade their content? They're still business, it's B2B, right? So
Right. So basically, we all have a feeling of what professional content is. We do not judge the story. But you see, in terms of the way it was produced, and that it's somehow professional. It's not a holiday movie. So there will be people just seeing whether it fits to the professional world. Otherwise, they don't get buyers anyway. So this is one thing. And the other thing is that we will not integrate user-generated content into that marketplace. The next level of the platform is that we develop a so-called smart contract as a contractual layer that you can put on your YouTube video. Because the problem is, for me as a broadcaster, I'm not allowed to use YouTube content. Once in a while I do it, but it's actually not legal. But I would love to use that content, especially for my network. I could generate 10 formats in a week out of that content. This is great. But I'm not able to call everyone, give me those 2 minutes, or that it's not possible. So what the technology does, again, the advantage of those smart contracts, if you put in on YouTube your funny cat video, and you say, if you as a private person want to share that with your friends, it's okay. As soon as you're a professional, give me $10, or 1, or 100. And that is basically a contract. And then I could just grab the contact, the transmission is right away, it makes bing on your phone, you have your $10, and I have a contract. I'm allowed to use the thing. And that basically is the opportunity to make user-generated content accessible for any professional broadcaster. And I guess this is going to be a huge impact into that world, because right now we are lost. We're like, how do we get that?
That's true. How do we get that? Who do we call?
And it's only one little protocol. It's easy to add. It doesn't disturb the YouTube business model. It just gives those producers an opportunity to get some money out of the professional world.
I think we're going to end there, Hendrik. But that was really fascinating. I think that what you're doing is, it's new, it's revolutionary, it could change lots of things. I'm sure there's going to be some hurdles, but I think it's very entrepreneurial of you and ambitious of you, and I really applaud you for doing this. I think it's very interesting. So could you please join me in thanking Hendrik? Hi.
Thank you.
So I think we're stopping now, yes? So I'm just going to say thank you very much. I'd like to thank all of our speakers. Not all of them are here, but certainly Hendrik and anyone else who's still in the room. Thank you for being here. Thank you to Peter. Thank you so much. And thank you all for attending, basically, because we do this for you. We do this for the audience. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Kate. Thank you, all of you. We have now the get-together.